Now, as we have been mentioning this time of year, we want to remind you to change your clocks and check the batteries in your smoke detectors. But just because the batteries work, it doesn't guarantee your safety from a fire. I talked to Florissant Valley Fire Chief Jason Hovelman about what else your family should keep in mind to keep your kids safe.
And something that really surprised me is when I read that not all children will wake up to the sound of a smoke detector.
That's correct. There are smoke detectors available out there that you can purchase, and you can put a pre-recorded message in the mother or father's voice that the child might respond to better than the audible alarm. I know there's some special resources for autistic children who may not, a real loud beeping sound may wake them up, but it incapacitates them. And that the soothing voice of a parent might be more beneficial, directing them to get to close the door or to go to a window or whatever that safety message is based on that family safety plan.
The only way that you know how they're going to respond is to set the alarm off.
You really do. You need to choose times that really are relative to when a fire might happen and when you want that smoke detector to be as effective as possible. So either at nap time, but we would also encourage you that every so often, maybe twice a year at least or more, to do it at night when people are asleep. The different age of your children are going to dictate how they respond to those, and it's going to give you a really good benchmark of what type of devices you might want to consider.
For children or even adults, it can be scary when that smoke detector goes off. You don't know if there is a real threat or how severe it is. And so I imagine that different kids react to that differently.
Children, from infant or being able to be ambulatory and be mobile, from that age to about 8, they hide. And so it's common to find those kids under beds and closets, wrapped up in a blanket, curled up in a corner behind a bunch of toys.
And I've learned that it's really important to keep their door closed at night, right? How big of a difference does it really make for a bedroom door to be closed during a fire?
When we talk about closing the door, what that does is it creates survivable space in that bedroom that allows us as firefighters to go make these rescuers quicker. It also allows those people in those rooms to survive a much longer duration. It's a difference of about 900 degrees in some cases when they did the studies, with less carbon monoxide, less smoke, all of the things that are really detrimental to survival.
I'm kind of embarrassed to say I don't know that I've ever actually used a fire extinguisher. And then now that I think about it, I wonder, will I be able just to pull that out in an emergency and know how to use it? Or will I be so, nervous or anxious that I won't know what to do?
They've all got a pin when you purchase them, and it's right there, and it's usually tied so that it prevents this valve from being triggered when it's not needed. You pull the pin, okay, then you aim, squeeze the lever, and sweep. What we would encourage people to do is, if it's a small fire, a small trash can, something on the stove that's small and manageable with a fire extinguisher, certainly we would encourage people to put it out. Once that smoke and those gases get going and you start feeling a lot of heat, we would encourage people to call 911 as soon as possible. Even if you use the fire extinguisher and it seems small, we would still like you to call us just that we can check everything out and make sure that everything's good to go.
Anything else really quick that you want to remind people of this time of year?
Just keep in mind, it's heating season. A lot of fires in the winter start from heating appliances, space heaters. Unplug those when you're not at home or when you're out of the house or asleep. Get your chimneys cleaned.
Well, thank you again so much for your time and these really important reminders. So hopefully they will make a difference in someone's life.
My pleasure. Thank you, Paige.